Alrighty, we have an outlet that the ground was not testing. It showed an open ground, and the wire was put into the box without a Romex connector. Here in the country I was born in, we use a 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps. Black is live, the white is neutral, the bare or the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220-240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to fix this problem that's not up to code here. So here's what we have. We have no Romex connector back here, and we have our open ground wire. Okay, so we'll get our wires all cut off here. I'll see which, make sure the black is live like it's supposed to be. So we'll take this, we'll cut our ground wires off here, our broken ones. We'll cut our white wire. And I'll cut the white one shorter than our black one so I don't get it short when I take the black one off. Let's see how much slack we have in here. We don't have much slack. So what we're going to put in here is a black push-in Romex connector so it can seat flat against the hole. So it sits flat like that there. And now we can slide our wires. There, now we got our box centered on the wall the way we want it. That's how it's supposed to be. Now we'll go get our screw gun. I have the nice arch drill here I got at Walmart, and it wasn't too badly priced. And we'll get a couple screws in here. And I'll tighten them by hand so that I don't over tighten it and strip my hole out. We're going into the particle. And I'll tighten these by hand so I don't strip the holes out. Okay, so we'll get our ground wire here. We're going to make a nice tail so we can we'll hook our outlets up. So I'm going to cut some 12-2 here to make our tail wire, and we'll have it nice and long so we go. I like these boxes here, the covers that have the screws in it here, because it gives the outlet more stability with the this extra screw and nut. So we'll take all these nuts out of here. So that wire wasn't really around the screw really good there. See how it wasn't, the loop didn't go all the way around, so take that off. See, that wasn't a nice full hook. We'll just take the screw out because we're not going to use it. Okay, so I'll rewire these outlets together. Okay, so we'll pull our wires out of our 12-2 here, because this is number 12 on a 20 amp circuit. So we'll do our ground wire first. Okay, so we'll make our loop the direction our screw is going to turn like this. Around our screw, we'll close our loop the direction the screw turns. Okay, we'll put our white on the silver colored screw here. Strip with our number 12 hole. Again, make our loop the direction our screw turns. Close it around the screw the direction the screw turns. There's our white on the silver screw. Now we'll put our black on the brass screw. Strip our wire. You got to make sure you get your copper under the screw head all the way around, and make sure you don't get your insulation caught under the screw head. Just make sure our screws are tight. Okay, now we'll make our connections to go to the second outlet here. So we'll score here, and we'll make a score about right here. And then we'll do the same on our black wire. We'll score it here, and we'll score it about right here. And we have to go look for the knife, and if I can't find it, you know what? I don't have it, and I'll just hack it off the hard wire. If I didn't find my knife, I would have just used a butter knife and just hacked it off. But fortunately, I found my knife. Okay, so we'll close a screw that we're not going to be using. So we'll put our white wire on the silver screw, so we'll make our loop. So we get it centered like that. So I have the insulation even down here, so it goes around the screw like this. And I don't get the insulation under that screw head. And I'll close it up. But make sure it's not lapped over it. Okay, now we got it together here. Our insulation's not under the screw head. So we have good connection here. Make sure it's tight like that. That's what we want. Okay, so we're going to keep. Next, we'll get our black wire over here. We'll make our loops. Our loop, it's in the middle again. I gotta bring it down a little bit. There, now I got the insulation almost even, so I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Now I got them even here. See, I got the insulation even here. Bring it up here, get it around our screw head here. And I'll just close it up nice and tight. Make sure it's tight. Now we'll close the screw we're not using here. Okay, so I want to get our other ground wire so it's here, so I'll bring it down this way. Bring our ground wire over. I'll leave a nice little loop of slack here. And I'll put it around our screw here, the direction our screw is going to be turning. Get around our screw nice and tight here. I'll just double check my screws, make sure they're tight. Okay, so we have our outlets together here. Now we can set them back into our plate like this here. We'll put our screws and our nuts back on here. Make sure it's tight. We'll put our other one in. Make sure it's tight. Okay, we got a top one up here. Make sure it's tight. Okay, there it is. Okay, so we got our outlets ready to go onto the box here. So I'll cut our black and white here. And I'll leave our ground a little bit longer. And there's no green screw in the back of the box, no hole for one. Okay, we have no threaded hole in here for a green screw, so but the outlets are considered self-grounding outlets. So we'll twist our ground wires, get them together here. I'll clip it so it's even. These are the crimpers we're going to use here, so we'll put our crimp sleeve in the crimper like this. Here's the top one. That's the bottom one. So it goes in the crimper like this. We put it on over our wires like this. And we'll keep it up near the top. And we'll just squeeze it down nice and tight, like that. And there's what we want for a nice crimp there. So now we can fold these wires, this ground wire, down into the bottom of the box. We want to keep it down away from everything. Now we'll hook our black and white up. So we got to get the insulation even at the bottom here like this. Get them even. Take them and twist them together. And they came out perfectly even at the top. So we have our insulation even at the bottom and our copper even at the top. We'll stick our wire nut on. Here we go. Twist them together. Wow, that came out perfectly even too. Get our insulation even at the bottom there and our copper even at the top. Take our wire nut, twist it on here. Yep, our insulation is even at the top and our copper is even at the bottom. So we'll put our wire nut on. Okay, now the next thing we got to do is fold these wires into our box. So we'll fold these wires so that they go in nicely. Okay, now we'll keep our ground wire at the bottom here. So we'll go back and forth across the bottom. Put our black and our white in like this. There was no threaded hole in the back of the box for a green screw, so we're relying on the bonding to the outlets, grounding through the self-grounding straps on the outlet to ground the box. Okay, so we'll go back this way again. Keeping our grounds down at the bottom. Push the lights over a little bit more so I get the black back in here. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the screws aren't going to hit any wires. Ground wire down away from everything here. I'm going to push this ground wire down here. It's down away from everything. Okay, 1, 2, and we'll just make sure no wires are pinched. And we'll take our tester, make sure our narrow slot is the side that's live, and we are all done. So that is how to wire a 4-inch square box with the double gang outlet cover here in the country I was born in. The black wire is the live, it goes to the brass screw on the side of the outlet. The white is neutral, the silver screw is where the white wire goes. The bare ground wire or the green wire will go to the green screw. Peace. Thanks for watching.